Hey, this is a video for 4.9, El Nino and La Nina. So go ahead and check out the overview and set up your guided notes. So El Nino and La Nina are two phenomena that occur in the equatorial region in the ocean. And it has to do with the blowing of the trade winds along the equator. And I'm going to explain normal conditions, El Nino and La Nina conditions, and their impacts. So in a normal year, we have, this represents Australia over here, this represents South America over here, this is like a cross section of the ocean. And in the ocean, we have this area called the thermocline. And the thermocline is where the temperature, so the red above it represents warm water, and the blue below it represents cooler water. And the thermocline is basically this divider between the warm and the cool areas. In a normal year, the trade winds are blowing the warm water to the west. So what happens is you get a deeper thermocline, or you get more warm water in the western Pacific Ocean. When you have warm water, this impacts the hydrology because you may have more evaporation. And likewise, you're also going to get more upwelling. So what upwelling is when you have nutrients. In other words, you're getting warm water this way, and this warm surface water is blowing to the west. So that water is being replaced from water deep within the earth, or deep in the ocean, underneath the ocean surface, and it's bringing with it nutrients. So upwelling is the movement of nutrients from the benthic areas of the ocean up to the surface waters. So these nutrients bring in a lot of fish, and they really impact the food web off the coastal waters, the western coast of South America. So this means that there will be a lot of heat and precipitation in the western Pacific Ocean. Because it's getting a lot of warm water, you're going to evaporate that warm water, and it will fall back down as rain. And you will have low pressure in the western Pacific Ocean, which means that that air will be rising. You will have higher pressure in the eastern Pacific Ocean. Now, every few years around Christmas time, things would change. And the fishermen along the coast, the western coast of South America, the fishermen noticed that every year, or every few years, stuff would happen around Christmas time. So they called this event El Nino, for the child, because there would be problems, and they wouldn't have, the fish wouldn't be appearing like normal. So what happens during an El Nino event? Well, the trade winds, the winds that are blowing western towards the west at the equator, are either weakening or reversing. So what happens is the warm water is sloshing back to the east. Instead of the warm water accumulating in the west, it's now sloshing back the other way. So this is affecting the heat and the precipitation. It's now in the eastern Pacific Ocean. Instead of rain occurring over here and having nutrients on this side, you're getting a lot of rain on the east, and it's basically messing up the flow during these times. You're also getting low pressure in the eastern Pacific Ocean, and it's not really all the way in the east, but you're getting lower pressure anywhere from the central to the eastern Pacific. And then you're altering the convection currents in the atmosphere. So instead of the water or the air flowing as we learned in the previous lesson, you're going to get some of the moist air is going to blow towards the coast of South America, and the drier air is going to blow to the west and settle down along Australia. So you're also going to have warmer air currents blowing across North America. But this is also helping to decrease hurricane activity in the Atlantic Ocean, because you're having air blowing to the east, and the natural trajectory of the hurricanes is to go from east to west. So that's going to be impacted by these air currents. So during an El Nino event, just look at this key right here. It's going to be wetter in the southern United States, warmer across much of Canada and the Pacific Northwest. It's going to be colder in Indonesia, Northern Australia, the Philippines, Malaysia. It's going to be drier on the east coast of Australia and drier up here in the northeast. Now, during a La Nina event, so we have El Nino and La Nina. La Nina event, again, you have that normal thermocline, and this is stronger than usual trade winds. So instead of just blowing at a regular speed, they're blowing even stronger. So the thermocline is going to be far deep. Now, this is exaggerated, but the thermocline is going to be far deeper in the western Pacific Ocean, which means there's going to be much more upwelling in the eastern Pacific Ocean, bringing with it more nutrients, bringing with it more intricate food webs as well. There's going to be warmer and rainier weather in the western Pacific Ocean. So the rain will be happening a lot more. You may get a lot of floods, a lot of landslides in some of these areas. There's going to be lower pressure in the western Pacific Ocean. But then that high pressure is going to occur in the eastern Pacific Ocean. So during a La Nina event, you're going to have, if you notice, the jet stream is going to be impacted as well. So you're going to have the jet stream blowing north and pulling it farther south. So it's going to actually be colder in the Canadian areas and in the upper Rockies. You're also going to have wetter Pacific Northwest, wetter coast of Australia. You're going to have wetter areas around the Great Lakes. It's going to be drier in the southern United States. It's going to be warmer across the eastern half of the United States and much of Southeast Asia. Now, there was a lot of information. You might have to go back and review this, but I would like you to respond to this check for understanding. And finally, I would like you to describe how an El Nino would affect the fisheries of the South American Pacific coast. I hope that this video was informative. I thank you for your attention. I will see you soon.